How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of Thursday's Comic Conversation. We moved it over here. We want to wish and give our good feeling thoughts to Jesse, who's battling a sickness right now. But of course, we've got Edwin with us. Thursday's Comic Conversation. And Boston Chris Comics. What's going on, guys? How y'all been doing?
Doing all right.
I need to be doing what Chris is doing.
Yeah.
I'm so behind.
It's not even funny. I went through in the past weekend, 200 bags and boards.
Dang.
And I went and bought 100 more after I did the live show and we talked about it. I went and bought 100 more, and I got the standard silver, so the little bit larger bags and boards. But I haven't cracked those in yet.
Are those when you usually do it, do you usually have your bags and boards towards like almost flush with the comic, like it's nice and tight, or do you leave like space on each side of the comic?
Well, the tight ones, those are like the current bags that I was getting, that just like if it's a book that's got any thickness to it, just didn't really want to fit. So that's why I went to the larger bags and boards. So there's actually a little bit of room in there.
Okay. I asked because people do have different preferences, and one guy I know, he hates those modern ones because if you drop your book, it's almost a guarantee that you're going to ding it.
It depends. I mean, depends on what you get just because some of the modern ones, I think, 6 3/4 inches.
Yeah.
And those are the ones you want to avoid because those ones are just like, they're super tight and not really, sometimes they can even cause the books to kind of warp within the bag itself. So you get those little ripples in the top because of how rigid it is for the bag. So try to get those 7-inch ones. Those ones are the best. At least the ones that, that's the ones that I get, but I have, what I'm doing now, actually, I'm putting some stuff in Mylar because I actually, we don't have many stores actually at all that carry this stuff. So I found one that had some and I was like, yes. And then I actually got ahead and got a good deal online for some halfbacks. So now I'm just, basically what I call, and what Great Legends has said before, just, kind of putting them into HD because now they're all nice and shiny and pretty. And, I just figure for right now, it's just my keys. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and, do up all my, my whole collection in Mylar, just not yet. Maybe eventually one day, but I don't know. For now, I just wanted to kind of get the, more expensive and the nicer books that I own into some Mylars, just something that's a little bit more long lasting than, poly bags. Cause if you do the math over a while, refreshing and changing and everything like that, as you expand your collection, it's expensive. So it's just like, if you have kind of a more permanent or long-term solution like Mylar, I think it's a better deal. But some people will argue against that. But I don't know. For now, I just like the way it makes my books look. Like they just kind of pop now that they're in the Mylar. So
nice.
So what you got for us today, Justin?
Yeah. I'm trying to get to the comments, guys. So give me just a second here. They disappeared on me.
Shout out to Big E's. He told me, he kind of informed me. He gave me the memo that Wolverine number 80 has been debunked, I guess. So
that was a long time ago. Who was it? The writer. God damn it. And I knew who it was too. The writer, I want to say it was like a year and a half ago or so, was like, yeah, that X-23 tube has nothing to do with Laura Kinney at all. Like he went ahead and straight out said it. So that unfortunately kind of wandered back into the dollar bin range. So it just kind of gives you an idea of the whole roller coaster where it's just like, hey, guess what? Check this out. Yeah, no, it's not. It's nothing at all.
Yeah. Some people still collect this, so I'll.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
I know for my collection, like I'm trying to collect the first volume run 1 through 100. So I still don't have that book. I need to actually get that one myself. But I'm glad that it's going back to not being, stupid amount of money for it because at one point it got a little bit of, no, I won't say like expensive, but it was just like, you're not going to catch me paying $25 for that book. I refuse. So, but
yeah, man. What's that? What just blew me away this week is that Amazing Spider-Man 7.95, and the fact that like my shop already has it for like $20.
Come out that just came out yesterday?
The one that came out last week.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yep. That because everybody was speculating. I remember reading actually the day after, so we're reading last Thursday on my way to work that the Incredible Hulk cover, that variant was already going up to be like $20 the next day, because it was just like it's a Green Goblin, and then on top of that, I guess that cover has some type of tie-in to when the Hulk was shrunk in comics or something like that. So it's just like that's kind of the way things are going, and it's a little bit I don't know, like I find it to be a little bit bothersome that you have books that just come out maybe within like 2 months, 3 months, and they just explode, and they get what I mean. It's just like it hasn't stood the test of time. You don't know what's going on with that, and already it's just like crazy money for some of these things. So
does it have to do what Philly Superman says? He says because Norman bonded with Carnage on one page. Is that why?
Well, he's the Red Goblin now.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. See,
Yeah.
I don't read too many of the modern stuff, especially the Marvel stuff that comes out now. So I totally missed out on that one.
Like, I mean, like modern stuff is just, it's funny just because, I mean, this is as modern as, well, this is as close to as modern as you're going to get with a book that came out yesterday. And it's already, I mean, Justin's shop is a week out and they're already charging $20 for it. It's just like,
that's crazy.
You don't know where that character's going to go. Like if it's going to be, I mean, could you imagine if like all the 90s, in the 90s and stuff like that, just a random new characters just popped up all of a sudden, like the next week, they're like $20 books. It's just like, I mean, the whole X-Men run of the 90s would have been ridiculous because there was like a new character every like 5 episodes or 5 issues or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was just, they were just having fun, like drawing different configurations of the same uniform.
Exactly. And it's just like, I mean, that to me is just like, it's not. I'm not gonna sit there and be completely negative and say it's the death of the comics, because I don't think it is. But I do think that it's just, I do think that it's just something that needs to be watched. I think that it's something that, people need to kind of step back and, I mean, and I think it's more newer collectors than it is, people that have been doing it for a while, which is nothing wrong with it. I can understand them getting excited when they, Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's awesome. All right, that's cool. That's something new. Like I've never heard of it, and it's just like so people flock to stuff like that. But in terms of just being longevity of comics and stuff like that, it's just like, it should take a little, you should see if a character's warranted, when you throw all that money into it,
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let me run through the chat and just say hey to everybody real quick. Thanks everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. We know we were super late today, but like we said, Jesse's not feeling that great. So impromptu show over here. We got Iron Galactus. What's going on, buddy? Rag 718, Otaku Dan, Comically Flawed, Stephen Oates, J Rod Hand, AG Surfer. Going on, brothers. Big E's is in the house. Gomez, the comic collector. Everybody's favorite comic collector, Gomez. Philly Superman. What's going on, Jay? Mr. Unknown Comics Guy. Jack Yo's here.
Jack Yo's comment is gold. I like that one.
Lord Tatman. Thomas Churchill, what's going on, brother? Let's see. Who else we got? Who else? Am I missing anybody? Brian Spaceboy 227, what's going on, brother?
Did you say Luis Martinez?
Is he here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still scrolling down, so I might not.
Don't even worry about it, man.
Rebel Comics is here. What's going on, Larry? Okay, we're good. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Let's see now. Yeah, so Jesse actually already saw Black Panther. So,
Yep.
Are y'all gonna go this weekend?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see the matinee probably Saturday morning. Actually, my LCS was inviting me tonight, but I told you guys I was having car problems. I told him like I couldn't make it, but he was inviting us all out to watch it tonight and couldn't do it.
No, yeah, I hear you. It would be cool to see it early, but yeah, I guess my plan is to probably see it Saturday.
That was gonna be my plan, but I have too many other things going on, so I probably am not gonna get to see it until sadly next weekend. So it's just like everyone's gonna know all the good stuff and see if it, and I'm gonna be sitting there like, don't say anything, please, please. Jeff had a great comment. He said, "Jayless isn't sick. He's moving to Wakanda after watching the Black Panther movie." I mean, I haven't watched any reviews. I'm trying my best to stay away from anything that might basically say a little bit too much or more than I want to know. From what I've heard, as far as just general opinion, it's incredible. I mean, that's what everyone's been saying. So, but I just want to be able to go enjoy it and basically, if it's that good of an experience, I want to be able to experience it like untainted completely. Just go in there with no spoilers, no forward knowledge of what's going to happen next. So I can't wait.
Actually, you guys know my wife is from West Africa, so we're actually going to get on our African shirts and then go and watch it.
Nice.
We'll probably get some pictures and stuff put on Instagram. We'll just have fun with it, but put on our African shirts and then go watch the movie.
The African gear, and you're gonna be wearing it.
Yeah, I told him.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that's something different.
Get into the mindset as you go in. I mean, it looks great. I'm excited to see it for sure. I don't know. I think all of our predictions, I feel like they're going to be low now. Like, I feel like it's going to beat all of our predictions.
Well, what's funny is that from everything that they've said, they said that, this is a great movie, and really it's a shame that it's taken Marvel so long. I mean, it's a shame that a movie like this hasn't come out. It's taken so long to get something like that, and that Marvel really knocked it out of the park with this one. So I think just that, and then it had the highest pre-sale numbers of any Marvel movie. So I mean, yeah, I think we all lowballed on accidentally, but I think we all underestimated what this is going to do.
These as of what last week, I haven't looked this week, but as of last week, the box office prediction for it was 125.
Mm-hmm.
So
in the first weekend, 125. Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like it's going to beat that number now. I don't think I guessed. I think I guessed under that.
Well,
but I feel like it's going to beat it now. Like the hype has me feeling like it's going to beat that.
Yeah. And the other question I have about that too, does Monday count as the weekend? Because it is a holiday weekend. So if Monday counts as just a holiday weekend altogether, that sales, it'll absolutely crush that.
Well, I think they count it. I don't know how much they actually count Monday into it, but normally if there's a day off on a Monday, more people have more time to do things on the weekend, so that can boost sales. You know what I'm saying? Because they still have Monday to do the stuff they don't want to do.
That's true.
But I don't know. I don't think that it would actually. I don't think they would count Monday sales, because we're still going to be looking for that number to be released like middle of the day Sunday or whatever,
Yeah.
For their actual like real estimate on the weekend.
So that kind of as a weekend 3. Oh, okay. Philly's Superman says that that kind of as a weekend, then as a 3-day weekend. So
those would be two different numbers, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I just, the only sadness I have is that I have to see it after the fact. So I really have to do my best to kind of, be eagle-eyed and watch, if anything's leaning towards, hey, guess what? This is going to be awesome. And let me tell you about this movie. And it's just like, social media is going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to avoid it until I see it myself. I'm like, all right, anything having to do with Black Panther, don't want to hear it.
Yeah, the spoiler trailers will be up by the time we wake up in the morning. So
I know.
That's just kind of how it goes.
But yeah, like they released that other spot and it looked really good. And then they released another one too, a different movie. I think the teaser came out either yesterday or yeah, I think it came out yesterday. Was The Incredibles. Incredibles
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
That
Oh,
looks like
yeah.
it'd be pretty fun.
that looked really good. Just backtrack for 1 second. Thomas
Oh, yeah.
Churchill made a good point in the comments here. He said that his parents are going to go see Black Panther. Now, I mean, if you think about that, that could be a potential influx of a ton of more money if you've got like parents and stuff going to see it, like older
Yeah.
generations wanting to see this movie, more
Yeah.
so than just like the comic book community. This movie's gonna just blow that number out of the water.
That's true. I mean, it's one of those. It makes me wonder how how far back people. I mean, you're talking about like as his parents, like from like old enough to have read Silver Age comics, so they've like, seen this character all the way through, or up until a certain point, and then just because a lot of people may not even really think about it, that he's a Silver Age character. He's been around for a long time, so it's just like it's great to see him getting a movie.
Well, not only that, but you haven't had a black superhero lead since Blade.
Yeah.
Blade, what was it? Blade Trinity?
Yeah, that was the
the
last
third
one.
Blade movie.
Yeah, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but I thought it was okay. But man, that was what, like 13 years ago, man? Like 2005? Yeah, that was a while ago.
A long
Yeah.
time ago. So yeah, that's a good point. That it hasn't. I mean, but just the way they built this movie up, like people that wouldn't even normally be interested in Black Panther, like the majority of the comic book community, realistically, like if you're just like, here's a Black Panther book, we'd be like, eh. But this movie has everybody wanting to go see it,
Yeah. And I think it's because the way they're doing it, like you have Wakanda, which is I mean, even though it's been in the comics here, it's at the forefront. You actually get to see this guy's homeland, how it is, how it works, and just kind of giving a lot more time to characters that people haven't really gotten to know by name, but don't actually really have a full out great attachment to, other than Chala and a few others. So I think it's just really cool to see it be like that. And then how they even how they introduced Wakanda and everything, and the Civil War and all that. It's just like it made you want to see this actual place to see like what it is all about. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. And like I said, I'm super excited to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good.
So you'll just have to like close off that part of your brain for a week, Chris.
Yeah. Well, it happens. And Jeff had said something too. He said the bad thing is that Marvel is milking the Black Panther comic. He doesn't need so many titles. Yeah, it's true. I mean, but that's with everything. I mean, once as we head closer to Infinity War, it's going to be Avengers everything, and they'll probably have more stuff going on with Thanos and just they're trying to build up all that stuff. I think they have that Infinity. What's that miniseries?
It's the Adam Warlock book that came out last week.
Yeah, so that's a prelude to. So it's like the lead up to the actual big story. It's just like, I mean, I'm skipping that myself. I don't want to get into any of that. I'll probably buy it in trade when it comes out, or maybe if if a shop is having a 50-cent sale and there's some stuff there, I'll pick it up. But
yeah, they definitely did try to push like what he had like 3 titles out at one time.
Yeah,
I could see like one solo title and then have him be on an Avengers team or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be, I think that would work really well for the character, and keep people's interest. Whereas like you spread them too thin with too many books.
Yeah.
For such like a solo character, what I'm saying? Because we need to see him governing and taking care of his kingdom, basically, and then we also need to see him on a team of other superheroes.
Yeah.
I was thinking Fantastic Four, since he started there. That'd be a good way to kind of maybe bring FF back. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he showed up in X-Men Red. I mean, of course, it wasn't like an action thing, but he was there basically as like an ambassador or representative, someone that Jean Grey could talk to. So, I mean, that was a good appearance for him. It made him seem like a strong character.
Yeah, I mean, his position in Marvel, is you know, he's one of the smartest men in the entire universe. He's also like, you know, super athletic, super strong. You know, king on top of everything. I mean, he's part of the Illuminati. Like you know, he's a big character. Like they've positioned him as a, you know, very big character in the universe. So you know, it's just, and it's not just like they positioned him that like last year. Like he's been pretty much, you know, a fixture, you know, and one of the pillars in the Marvel universe, I think, for like at least the last like maybe like 15, 16 years. So it's just like, you know, he's a you know, big time character, and I think that you know, giving him his movie in this way does the character justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, all indications it's going to be great. So I'm pumped.
Yeah.
You're pumped.
Let me give a shout out to a few people. I don't know if he's still on. J. Rod Ham. Shout out to him. I saw him at the North Texas comic book show, which was kind of nice. He had his son with him. We're supposed to get together afterwards, but for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. I was too busy, and I think he was too busy as well. But it was still good to be able to meet him and see him. And I saw Tito, who is Kingdom Comics. I think his YouTube channel is the same name as his Instagram. Shout out to him. And then who else did I see? Oh, Taco Dan. I saw Taco Dan out there. I'm gonna start calling him Taco Dan. But I saw him out there, which was really good. I see him a lot. And then I actually saw a lot of the Nerds of Anarchy, which is like a local, I feel like they're like a clique here in Houston. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Nerds of Anarchy, that's for sure. And they're always at the they're always at like the local conventions in Texas, Dallas, even San Antonio, and I think Austin as well, especially Houston. So shout out to all those guys. The con was great, man. I got a lot of signatures. Jim Starlin was there.
Nice.
Mike Zeck was there. Jim Shooter was there. Man, Jim Shooter talks a lot, man. That dude, God. That dude likes to talk. And then what's his name? John Beatty. John Beatty was there as well. So Sam De La Rosa, who we've had on Jesse's show before, and a few other people, but I can't remember all of them. But that was a really, really good show. Definitely a comic book show, not like high-paid celebrities or nothing like that.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I saw like a ton of pictures from, it seemed like everybody on like Instagram or Facebook or something, like posting up, you know, like Kingdom Comics, like I said, was with you and stuff like that. So it was cool that so many people got to like meet up and hang out with each other.
Yeah, I really want to get together and have beers with those guys or something. And like I said, maybe next time we'll do that. But the thing is, man, you start going to these cons and you just have, everybody has, I want to go look at this, you know, I want to get this person a sign. I want to go digging through these boxes, or, ooh, look at these wall books. And, you know, it's just, your mind is just, it's just in 10 different places at one time. So to kind of calm yourself down and come together to do something can be rather tough. And then not only that, man, but after you spend 4, 5, 6 hours walking around a show, you're pretty tired, man. You know, you just want to like get off your feet and just chillax.
Yeah. Yep, that's definitely true. Especially if you go to one of the multiple day shows. It's just like, I mean, for me, it's always Saturday. Like Saturday is just, it's the longest day. It's the most intense day. And by the time you're done with Saturday, it's just like, I wake up on Sunday morning, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I want to go. Well, yeah, because you're like just still tired. Everything's just like, you know, I mean, carrying around comics is not light, like, when you do it all day. And then, but I mean, I guess like just the excitement of getting to meet all these different people and stuff kind of, you know, takes your mind off of it. But then like once you start to slow down for the day, like, oh man, like you know, feet hurt, everything else. But it's just like, you know, and like you said, you just want to get off your feet and just relax and, you know, kind of just have just have some time to relax, you know, have some dinner or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I can, especially cons that you're not staying at, that you still have to drive home afterwards. Those are a little bit harder. If it's a con where you've traveled, you're staying there at a hotel or something like that, it's a little bit easier to hang out afterwards or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
But
No, you're right. I mean, it can definitely be a challenge, but I think it's a little bit easier at the smaller cons because you don't have as many people
mhm.
like a New York or a San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
But still, at least we saw each other, even though it was short. We saw each other, got some pictures, which was cool. And I actually saw some other guys that follow me on Instagram and YouTube. The one of the guys' name is the Future Batman. Shout out to him. I don't know if he's watching or not. And then the other guy is Drew Comics, who I got pictures with, which I think they're mostly on Instagram. I don't know if they have YouTube channels or not. But I got some pictures with those guys. They were really nice, really cool. So it was definitely it's just really good just to meet other comic book lovers, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You always feel you get the warm fuzzies when you're among people that
The warm fuzzies. Yeah. Yeah. Can I show you guys some stuff that I got real quick? Taco Dan was actually asking about it. Let me present myself real quick. I got this right here. This I'm really excited about. It's got Randy Emberlin, and then it's got I had Randy Emberlin do a Carnage remark right here.
Nice.
I thought he was gonna do it in red and black. He just did it in black. But I was fine with it because I've never seen a Carnage remark on Carnage book, and this book is about a 9. It's about a 9.4. After I press it and clean it, maybe it'll come out higher, but I don't know. I still got to get it graded, even though it's not like a 9.8, just because of the signatures and the remark. And then I also got this for somebody who wanted this done. John Beatty, Shooter, and Mike Zeck, and Al Milgram was there.
Oh, nice.
So I got Shooter and Milgram to sign this for somebody. And then this is really cool. You guys are gonna like this. John Beatty, Mike Zeck, Jim Shooter, and a couple remarks. High grade right here. After I press it and clean it, this book should definitely be a 9.8. So after it gets graded, this should easily be about a $600 book.
Nice. That's really, really cool.
But I don't just have one.
Uh-oh.
I got another one.
No.
Except this one. Okay, so this one, John Beatty did Venom. Mike Zeck usually does the Venom remark.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, take notice of John Beatty's Venom. And then this one, Mike Zeck did Venom, and John Beatty did the Black Spider-Man.
Ah.
And then I got a third one. So yeah, and all these are like 9.8s, man. They're just super high grade. I've had these sitting in my long boxes for probably about a year and a half to 2 years, and I knew I wanted to get them remarked and signed. And at this show, when these three guys were there, all sitting next to each other, it was just a no-brainer for me.
Nice.
And then I got this signed for somebody, the Punisher #1, Mike Zeck and John Beatty.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a nice one. And then Jim Starlin. Of course, I'm not like a huge Jim Starlin fan, but I know he's a creator of Thanos, and I think because of that,
he's got some great stuff.
He's just signing a lot of Thanos stuff, and I've talked about this book a lot recently, and I happen to have an extra one, so I went ahead and got him to sign it here.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got him to sign that, and then I had this one, which I was able to get him to sign it in blue, but nice. I noticed that he doesn't like to switch colors too much. Like once he gets a black in his hand, he just wants to just sign and go and just kind of talk a little bit. So I didn't bother him too much, and then I got him to sign this, but it's a really dark cover, so he had to like sign it way down here. And it doesn't really show up too well, but still, he signed it. And then this book I've had ever since I was a kid. I actually bought this off a spinner rack at a gas station, and I've had it this entire time. This one right here, the What If.
Oh, nice.
He got a nice signature on Silver Surfer's board right there. So this one I don't know if I'm going to keep. Just got some sentimental value. It's at least a 9.496, and that's pretty much it. But somebody said in the chat, AG Surfer said Randy Amberlin is one of the coolest guys. He absolutely is, man. Randy Amberlin is a very, very nice guy, and he likes to talk, and he just was just really kind and kind of dedicated a lot of his time and wanted to just kind of talk to each fan. And I know you can kind of take the time to do that at these smaller shows. I don't know how he would be at like a big con, but Randy Amberlin, that was my first time meeting him, and I was really impressed with just how of a stand-up guy he was. And he signed, I mean, he did charge. He charged, and I'll just say this for anybody who has interest in going to cons to see these guys. Every guy, Randy Amberlin, Jim Shooter, Mike Zegg, John Beatty, even Joe Rubenstein and Sam De La Rosa, they're all charging about $5 a signature. The only person that was not charging was Jim Shooter. He was doing everything for free, which kind of blew me away because he didn't have to do that, but he was kind of encouraging people to donate to the Hero Initiative, who Jim Starlin was kind of collecting funds for that. But man, just to get all those guys to sign, and it was just a really, really nice, it was just a really, really awesome con. One of the best cons I've been to in a while.
Nice. It's good to hear. So is that your first con of the year? No.
It actually is. Yeah.
Nice. Good way to start.
Yeah. Oh, I know, man. But it's going to be expensive getting all these books slabbed, so it's going to be a lot.
Yeah. Such is life.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I have a small visitor in my lap.
What's his name?
This is Scrappy.
Scrappy, like Scrappy Doo?
Oh, yeah. I did not name her, but that's what she gets called.
Scrappy.
Scrappy Doo. A mean little Chihuahua mix right here. She's a deaf one. She's a deaf one. Deafy Tornado.
She's going to box you right now. I see it.
Right?
She got her hands up. She's ready.
Sweet little dog. Okay. All right. That's good. Thanks. Brushing my beard. I appreciate it. The fun you can have with animals. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, all right. Do you guys, would you like me to speak on the book Sideways?
Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it. I read half of it.
Okay.
So I could speak a little bit on it.
All right. Well, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I kind of liked it. Well, let me ask you this: is this the first appearance of a character?
Yes,
it is.
I mean, definitely the first appearance in costume. If they're going to throw back and say that he had a cameo in one of the tie-in metal books, maybe, but I haven't heard that. So I would treat this as a first appearance.
Okay. I liked it. It was humorous and stuff from what I read. It was the art style I liked, even though it was kind of sketchy. The art style actually, and I didn't check to see if it was the same artist, but the art style reminded me a lot of Superman when the New 52 started. Kind of that watercolor style of art. But it was really, really good. I liked it from what I read, and I think I left off where he was running his mom late because she was bringing him to school and she was late for work and stuff like that, and that was kind of where I ended it at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, yes, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I mean, just a classic origin story kind of tale. You get later on, you get a little bit of him explaining how he got his powers, but without really telling you how he got his powers. Just something. They were in Gotham. They referenced that a couple times. He was in Gotham when the mound was there and fell through a crack in some sort. And that's pretty much all we know. That's all we know. But the art you were talking about, the art is actually done by Kenneth Rocafort. I want to say this is, I want to say he's a creator on the character itself also. If not sole creator, like co-creator or something, I can't remember. But this, I believe I don't think he was with DC in the beginning of New 52. Recently, he was over at Marvel, and he did Ultimates 2 before that ended. And then when he jumped over to DC, just did like 2 issues of Titans, while Brett Booth did that story for the Wildstorm trade paperback. But I really dig his art. I thought it fit well with the character, kind of sliding back and forth. But yeah, I think, the big reveal at the end is we get this other character who's been trying to talk to him throughout the book and tell him to stop using his powers. So he's confronted with that. I don't believe that character is named, but that was really cool. Now, there also been, a ton of comparisons for Sideways and Spider-Man just because of his appearance. And I mean, the story kind of parallels that also, right? He's a high school kid. He kind of gets picked on. He's got a best friend. We're not sure if that's like a romantic thing or not. But she's like into cosplay. She's the one who like made his suit for him, stuff like that. So,
which was a really cool suit too.
Yeah, that was super cool. Overall I liked it. I mean, I'm definitely going to pick up issue number 2.
Oh yeah, I'm interested too. It's definitely something I think I'll go for at least the first 3 to 5 issues. See where it goes, especially if it's $2.99. But what was the main character? What was his, not his superhero name? What was his real name? Derek. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So Derek and Ernestine, is that his friend's name?
Yeah, Ernestine. Yeah.
And she's got a twin who I guess she'll play into this somehow, who's the complete opposite. Like she's like super preppy, and then Ernestine's like a gamer cosplayer. So
now I don't know if I didn't catch this, but I assume that his parents don't know about his powers.
It doesn't appear so, no. From just the small interaction we had with like his mom taking him to school and his dad reading a newspaper.
Yeah.
So I would assume not, because he did that whole, at one point he's jumping around playing with his powers, right? And it's when he falls in the water. He falls in the water at some point. And he gets up and he's talking to himself and he says, okay, well now I got to do that whole like secret identity, keep my loved ones safe thing, So I would assume that only Ernestine knows. What it seems like.
Okay.
I don't know, but I was excited for it because I like Kenneth Rockefeller's art.
Oh, okay.
Like it just seems, it's like every page, I don't know, something about his art just makes it seem like there's action going on, even if there's not,
Yeah.
What
was that, Chris?
What are the things has that guy done?
He did Ultimates 2, both the first volume all the way through, and then he started the second volume and did like several of those issues before he left and went to DC. So this is the Ultimates 2 team with like Captain Marvel, Blue Marvel, America Chavez, and the like that. So not that long ago. Earlier last year or whatever. And then, like I said, he did 2 issues of Teen Titans. Or not Teen Titans, just Titans. Maybe like 4 or 5 issues ago.
Well, I'll say this. Like I said, it was sketchy. It seemed sketchy, but still, even though it seemed sketchy and a little bit of rush, it was still, he still did a good job of presenting the characters to us, to me at least, for the first time, and just his style of art. So I can kind of deal with it. I would like to see what he could do if he had enough time to put forth more effort and detail into his work.
Yeah, I would say go back and look at those 2 volumes of Ultimate, especially like the first volume where they change, where they finish Galactus and turn him into the Lifebringer. Like that stuff. I mean, because throughout that book, he's doing all the cosmic entities and stuff like that. So it looks really cool.
Okay.
Check that out. So you can see his potential. So, I mean, it seems like every week we're getting 1, or did we get a week with 2 of these new DC Age of Heroes books? Like we got Damage, which I'm not picking up issue 2, or when did issue 2 come out? I'm not getting it, man. That was not fun. And then we had the Silencer last week.
Yep.
Did either of you read that or pick that up? I did not.
No.
To be honest, I mean, I think for me, I'm gonna kind of hang back on those just because I I just think about it where it's just like I have so many things that I read already that
Mhm.
I really don't want to add something else to the mix that you know, it just really can't. I mean, especially like where you know, I have a bunch of stuff from Marvel and then some stuff from Image, and then also you know, the IDW GI Joe. I just started reading that because
Mhm.
you know, female Snake Eyes story. So it's just like you know, I just don't want to be spending like, you know, $45 every week, you know, picking up books or whatever it is. It's a lot of money.
Shoot, that's a lot of money. I don't even think I
Yeah.
spent half that.
No, NES Master made a good point. Rockford also did the New 52 Red Hood and the Outlaws. Okay, I thought.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I almost bought some of those just because of the artwork alone. There was some really good artwork on that
Ah,
title.
there you go.
Yeah. Appreciate that, NES Master.
You're the man. You're the man. The only other one that I think I'm gonna pick up from the New Age of Heroes is the Terrifics, which kind of looks like a DC Fantastic Four-esque team, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that one could be cool, or at least interesting. You know, if I want to see how that first issue is, and kind of judge off that. But like I said, Damage was. I'm glad I didn't actually buy a physical copy of that one.
I think I did. Was that entire book done by Jim Lee, or was it just a cover?
He just did a cover.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, I didn't have a problem with that book. I didn't have a problem with the story or the art. I just didn't like it, you know. I felt like I had read it many times before.
Mm.
So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But the Terrifics, yeah. Jackie saying the Terrifics may be good. That's high praise from Jackie.
I know. Jackie is, I would say, optimistically negative on a lot of things, though. Like, I mean, I would take his word on a lot of different stuff. Some things, I think he is a little bit critical, but for the most part, he's in tune with, you know, good, bad, ugly, all the rest of it. So, you know, if it's a book that you're excited about and you're getting that praise from Jackie, then I would say, you know, money well spent, I guess.
Yeah. All right. What else, Justin?
Yeah. I don't know. I think what happened is we've become very reliant on Jesse to give us topics to talk about.
Pretty much. Like Jesse's so organized with the show. He's just like, all right, so these are our topics. This is what we're gonna get into. Anybody else got anything they want to add? All right, and then we'll add that to the list, or you know, maybe like make a little impromptu, you know, stop here, and you know. But other than that, Jesse knows, you know, Jesse formats the show the way that he wants it to go, how it flows, and everything like that. So we just kind of, you know, just throw in our opinions where we get them, or if we have if we have like a little bit of expertise on something, or just want to interject a comment or phrase, that's where we come in. So what kind of as far as format goes, though, I would say we've done well with what we've done so far, but for the most part, it's just kind of freestyling, just freestyle and just kind of hoping to keep everybody awake. That's pretty much it. And I know that's at least for me. Like, I don't really have much rhyme or reason. I just kind of come on and be like, all right, talking about comics, let's go, fun stuff, let's do it. So,
well, I got a story. I'll tell it on your channel because I'm not going to tell it on mine.
All right.
Okay, so what's that guy's name? The old guy from was it Larry Hama? Is it Hannah or Hama?
Larry Hama.
Hama, that's right. Okay. And he was on that Netflix show, The Toys That Made Us, right?
Yep, he talked about G.I. Joe.
Okay. So he was at the con, and babe, can you turn it down just a tad? He was at the con, and I went to see him because I wanted to get him to sign a few things. I didn't have like a whole bunch of stuff because like I'm not a huge G.I. Joe guy, and I know he did a lot of other stuff, but this is just what I could find in the short period of time. And I think it was those Wolverine 80s and like a couple of other things. So anyways, I wanted to get him to sign some books, and I didn't really find out about him until toward the end of Sunday when I was wrapping up, and I was like, oh, okay, let me get him to sign some books. So I go to stand in his line, and there is this little girl who's like maybe 10 or 12, and she is doing I guess her parents are recording her. Maybe she's got a YouTube channel. I don't know. But he was taking a significantly long time to answer this little girl's questions and to do this interview. So I'm like, all right, whatever. It's a little girl. I'm not going to get too upset. So I'm just going to leave and come back. So I left and I came back and he's still talking to her. And I'm like, all right, you know, and this is where, you know, I have to exercise patience and temperance and all this stuff. So I leave again and I come back maybe 10 or 15 minutes later. And guess what?
Now they're exchanging numbers.
He's talking to another YouTuber.
Uh-oh.
He's talking to another YouTuber. And I'm thinking like, dude, like all I need is 2 books signed. and that wasn't even that big of a deal. The big deal was we're in Dallas. We had a 4 to 6 hour drive back to Houston. And the reason why is because I had to go pick up another press that I purchased off eBay, which was like on our ride between Dallas and Houston. So I had to get that first and then go back. So all around trip was about 5+ hours. Yo, I was getting so pissed because this guy interviewed Larry Hama for 45 minutes.
Wow.
After this little girl, and you know,
that's like disrespectful for the man's time.
But here's the thing. No, yeah. And here's the thing. I got into it with old dude afterwards because like his girlfriend, she had like this slime green hair.
Oh,
and
no.
she was recording him and he was doing the interview. And I kept telling us, like, I said, if he doesn't finish soon, I'm going to interrupt him and you can edit me out. But I need 2 signatures because I got a 4-hour trip to Houston. I was like, this is taking way too long. And, you know, being a YouTuber, I don't want to be disrespectful because we know how it is. But still, it's like, dude, nobody's going to sit down and watch you for 45 minutes talk, you know, with an interview. Some people might, but for the most part, people have a short attention span. So to watch you for 45 minutes. And, of course, the G.I. Joe first was a Storm Shadow, the silent issue. That was probably 80% of the whole discussion. So I'm like, bro, like, just give me my 2 signatures and you can talk to him for another 3 hours. But after I got into it with him afterward, because this is how it started the conflict.
Yeah,
I was really trying to avoid him, and then I saw him. Was like, I gotta say something to this guy. So I walked up to him and was like, hey man, let me just give you some word of advice. I was like, you need to cut your interviews a little bit short, or at least let me get my signatures. And then that's when he got into my face a little bit.
Uh-oh.
But here was the problem. This is where I realized it was actually kind of my fault. He told me that he asked Larry Hama if he wanted to sign my book because I was there. I was there waiting for like 10, 15 minutes at a time. And Larry Hama was like, no.
Oh, so Larry Hama dissed you.
Yeah. So let's just finish here. So I'm like, all right, fine. Like, I ain't really much I could say about that. If he's the one that doesn't want to take the time to sign my book, it's like, fine, whatever. So that's kind of what squashed the beef, so to speak, between me and this guy. But either way, I was just like, man, 45 minutes is a long time to be talking. I would never hold up anybody for that amount of time, especially when you have other people that want to get books signed.
Yeah. So. That's a rough one. I mean, you know, I've had a couple of not interviews or anything like that, but just long conversations with different artists and stuff like that, artists and writers and things. But the good thing is that, at least in those occasions, there's no line. Like I had a really good conversation with Eric Lawson. It must have been at least like 25 minutes, but there was no one coming to see him, which I thought was crazy. And then another time with Mark Wade, another time with Mike Mignola. You know, just having time to just talk with these guys, and you know, and then also I had a really, really good conversation with Neil Adams just about comics in general. And you know, again, he was doing some sketching and stuff, so he had some time just to it was breaking up his you know, sketch time and everything. But you know, I think that's the thing. I think some people get so excited at certain points where it's just like, you know, if they are going to do an interview or if they are going to have, you know, a sketch or something done where they just want to talk to the person, and it's just like they just kind of forget and have tunnel vision where it's just like, all right, so it's me and Larry Hama now. We're just talking. That's it. And it's just like, yeah, there's like a line of like 16 people behind you that want to like, you know what I mean? But in the case that it was Larry, that's like, hey man, like, don't worry about them. I'm here for you. I guess you gotta bite the bullet on that one. So that's rough.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good first impression to me because that was my first time meeting him, and to just brush me off. But whatever. I mean, it's whatever, man. So, but I'll just remember next time, and because I don't know if you guys saw the interview I had with Greg Capullo. I think that was like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, if that. You know, because he had people. You know, he had already gotten there late, and plus he had a whole line of people waiting to see him. And so just to have the opportunity to get an interview with Greg Capullo was just awesome to me. But I don't know, man. I just feel like you don't need to talk to somebody that long.
Well, you know,
not in the middle of the show.
No. Especially no. You've been in line. You know, people are in line. Leave. They thank you, pay your money, and get out.
I can think from personal experience. It's just like, you know, when you have somebody like Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, at least at you know, the Boston Comic-Con, you don't have time. Like, I mean, they want you in and out quickly because their line wraps around the building, and then it's just like same thing with and this kind of it bugged me a little bit with Amanda Conn and Jimmy Palmiotti just because they're super nice people, super nice, and they had gone to Boston Comic-Con I think 3 or 4 years in a row. And for whatever reason, I don't know why I stuck out, but they knew exactly who I was. They're like, hey man, I saw, like, how's everything going? They asked me all about like how everything was going and all the rest. I was like, oh wow. And then I had some guy, you want to move it along? I'm like, I'm talking to 2 friendly people. They know my face. And they're like, no, it's okay. He's cool. I'm like, oh, thanks. See, Amanda and Jimmy think I'm cool. So,
but see, here's the thing: when something like that happens, and it may happen to you or any of us in the future, you get your interview, and then you need to at least go to the first 5 to 10 people who are standing in line and apologize for it's just out of respect. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I would do.
Is this like a baseball unwritten law? Like there's unwritten con etiquette laws that you need to adhere to. That guy broke one or several for that amount of time. I don't know. Jackie O said, of course, he could interview him for about 8 hours. So good job, Jackie O. I would run out of things to ask, or it would go like to a weird personal place at that point, you know?
Chris, was Larry an artist or writer or both on G.I. Joe?
He did. He I think was. I know the first few issues was Herb Trimp, and I know that he wrote a lot of it as well. But they chose him, I think, just because he had served in the army. He was served in the military, and then you know, just he had kind of had that background, and he was also on an episode of MASH or a couple episodes of MASH and stuff. So it's just like, you know, they just figured they'd give him the chance, and he's still, I think, the new run, I think he's still in charge of it. Like I think he's still doing something with that run. So I mean, G.I. Joe is pretty much his baby. Like he's seen it from issue 1, I guess, all the way up until where it is now.
Well, I'll say this, man. If anybody wants to get a signature from him, I'll say do it soon because that guy looks like he's really getting up there in age. I don't know how old he is, but
yeah, he's older.
Like Stan Lee type of age, possibly. So if anytime you get an opportunity for him to sign, get him to sign your stuff because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I get you. All right, guys. Well, I know we said we were going to kind of keep it short since we started a little late. So we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up. I know everybody, we got to head over to Rebel Comics. Him and Cat are doing Rebel Cat.
So we'll check
that out. So what do you guys got going on this coming weekend for your channels?
You go ahead,
or life.
For me, the videos I've been promising for the last like week, you know, I've kind of had to take a little bit of a step back because baby has you know, a little bit of a cold, a little bit more than a cold. So we're just kind of monitoring that and making sure she's okay. So we're just kind of, you know, I just kind of put making new videos on the back burner for a little bit until I, you know for sure that she's going to be all right, just because, you know, we just, her history and everything like that, we just, you know, it's just one of those family first type deals. But, you know, if I get some time, I will absolutely put up some videos because I have some things that I want to show off to some people, you know, and within one of those is going to be one of the books for my top 10 list. So I've already started to kind of chip away at that. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. 2018, I'm off and running. So I got to get some, I got to get some more things going on. I haven't unboxed it yet. So I'm just, you know, waiting on it, but I can't wait for it though. I'll tell you that.
Nice. I don't have a lot, just Freestyle Friday tomorrow with Jose, comics and stuff. I'm going to be doing some, at least one free giveaway, and I got a bunch of stuff from the con that I'll be giving away or raffling off in the future. So look out for that tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern over at Strictly Comics. That's it.
Nice. I will be sure to be there and be sure to lose the contest. I can't win.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, man. Maybe you'll win a book that you actually don't even want. Well, something non-Daredevil or non-Thor related.
Why are you going after Daredevil too now?
We're working on it. We're getting there.
He's got 10. His next one's gonna be 9, then 8, 7, 6, 5.
Hey, you know what though? Like I like I mean I actually started collecting Daredevil out of the fact that there was a sale and there was just a bunch of Daredevil books there, and I started reading them and I actually liked them. So I mean, the best thing about Daredevil, I would say, is of the I guess the first crop of like Silver Age heroes that Marvel had, like the big guns. He's one of the most affordable. So you know, if you can get his run completed, go for it.
I'm close. I'm getting there.
There you go.
But yeah, so I don't even know where I was going with that. Gamma Comics said that he is at the movie theater right now about to see Black Panther. So thanks for checking in from the movie theater, man. Hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah, enjoy the popcorn.
Yeah, enjoy the popcorn. Get your popcorn ready. So, all right, for me this week, got a new video coming out tomorrow. Everybody check that out tomorrow evening. It won't conflict with Freestyle Friday. And then of course back here live on Sunday morning for Sunday Morning Comics as always. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be yet, but it'll be fun. So, and of course, like we said at the beginning, hope Jesse's feeling better. You know, he was a little bit under the weather. That's why we moved the show over here this week. But next week we'll be back over on JLS Comics at the same time, our good old 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for our regular show. But until then, thanks everybody for showing up. Hope everybody has a good week. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good